30s, we have to have some advice to give. Let's get into all the juicy and dirty gossip. And the rest, well, we'll just figure it out along the way.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Structured Chaos. I'm Kyra, and today we're getting into all of the thoughts that I have been carrying around all week. Welcome back. I hope that everyone had a great weekend. I hope that my East Coasters got out, I think, and enjoyed the weather. Hopefully we're getting to that point. Here it was a little cloudy. But yeah, I hope everyone, rested, relaxed, ate good food, all of the things that we need to do to prepare for the next week ahead. I think we should just get right into it, kind of where we left off, which is, believe it or not, I had more airport drama. So I had a late flight booked, as we remember, on my way to Dallas. I had to buy another flight because they were just not helpful. And this is my lesson is I was trying to fly Frontier. It's a 3-hour flight, whatever. I don't need a lot of leg room. So let me just buy the cheaper flight. All in all, I will never, ever, ever do that again. So being that I learned my lesson when I left, I was like, okay, I have to make sure I get to the airport with enough time. I'm not going through this again. So my friend and I, we are rushing, and I'd already checked into my flight, paid for my bag, everything. So I get to the airport and they're like, oh, we're not going to be able to check your bag. But just go right through security. They'll check it at the gate. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Great. Whatever. Go to security and they're like, well, do you have any liquids or anything in here? And I'm like, of course I do. This is a checked bag. And he's like, yeah, no, you can't have that. And so we kind of go back and forth. And I was like, I'm not confused as to what you're saying. I'm just confused as to why the person at the desk told me to come and do this. This is knowing that this is a checked bag. And he's like, sorry, you're going to have to get approval from the airline. So I walk back and I say, this is what the guy said. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to put that through. And I said, okay, well, can you just put my luggage on another flight? And he's like, no, he's like, we can't do that. And I'm in my head thinking don't people get that done all the time? If their luggage gets lost or whatever the case may be, they put it on a different flight, which actually the end of my story, this will make more sense. So I said, why can't you just put on another, I don't care. I don't need the thing. I have what I'm going home, so I don't need my bag necessarily. And I was like, okay, so what do I do? And they're like, well, there's another flight you could take tomorrow. It leaves at 4. You're going to have to fly through Denver. And so I'm on the phone with my friend, and he is he just has a very structured life. His schedule is demanding. And so I just oh my God, I don't know, you might have to come back and get me. And I know that he was just trying to be as positive as possible. And he's but he did not want that to be the case. Cause I said, he's just not that he doesn't want me there, but he just it would mess up his head, to not be in his routine. So I'm okay, let me see what I can do. So I end up getting a flight on American. And it was going to be a 10 something flight. And I'm just whatever, whatever I have to do. I have stuff to do on my computer that I was going to do when I got home. So I'll just do it at the airport. So my friend says, well, there is an earlier flight. See if you can get on that one since you're already at the airport, even though your ticket is for the later flight. Because it wouldn't let me buy one for the one that was going to take off soon. So I go to the American desk and I said, hey, is there any chance that I can get on this flight? And the guy was so nice. And he said to me, I'll put your luggage on this flight just in case you can get on this one. It'll be there. Otherwise, if you get on the later one, it'll still be there. So it's oh, okay, so you can put my bag on a flight. Great. Check with Frontier and let them know that you could do that. So I ended up being able to get on the earlier flight. He was so helpful. That flight ended up being delayed, so I didn't get home until like super late anyway. But I just like, honestly, I will say, like, I have flown a lot and I am always someone who pushes the limits. And this trip was the first trip, both going and coming back, that I experienced a problem. So, I mean, we can't fly Spirit anymore because they closed down. So don't fly Frontier. If you're checking a bag, like, do not fly Frontier because good Lord. And then, so of course, I like paid like $70 for the bag also, that I can't get the money back because they're like, again, like a cheap airline. And so ChatGPT was like, nah, girl, like, good luck. You're not going to get it back. So, yeah. I made it back from Dallas, but it wasn't easy and I was really tired. I was so angry. But I got to celebrate my friend Stacy's birthday with her on Friday, which was super fun. And the weather actually was really nice. And she no longer lives in San Diego. So when she is in San Diego, she always has a million things to do. So we don't necessarily always get to hang out. Typically it's like just like a hair appointment, which stinks. So it was so fun to like actually be able to like celebrate her birthday. And we were at Pendry and we were just like by the pool laying out. So like that was really such a great way to spend my Friday afternoon. But I don't know if anyone else has been experiencing this lately with Uber and or Lyft. Like the wait times are so long. And like it's San Diego. Like normally like you can get one like so quick, like within 6 minutes. But I mean, lately, like my last like probably 5 times using it, it's been like 20-minute wait times. And then like they're always trying to like find a driver. When I was at the airport, it literally took me like 15 minutes to get an Uber. And it like said that it was like 15 minutes away. I'm like, don't you all just like wait by the airport or something? But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Uber and Lyft lately. All in all, was just like a whatever week. You know, you kind of like get the blues after you get back from a trip. But like I said, at least I got to celebrate my friend's birthday. So that was really fun. We had a lot happening this week. Also, like some stories that I forgot to talk about last week. But first and foremost, the Lakers won round one of the playoffs against the Rockets. So Wednesday night they had a game, was not great. Friday they had a game, incredible. Oh, such a good game. We blew them out. Oh my God. Thank goodness. But we play OKC on Tuesday and good God, that series is going to be tough. We did not do well against them all season long. So I am just praying that the basketball gods are on our side. I mean, OKC is an unstoppable team. I hate that we're playing them in the second round, but here we are. And you know, my favorite news over the weekend was that the Celtics lost in game 7. So, all of my East Coast friends that are basketball fans, sorry, not sorry. Better luck next year. The Celtics getting out the first round has not happened in so long, but goodness gracious, was I so glad to witness it. Mainly because my friend and her husband come this week and he's a huge Celtics fan. And he was trying to talk trash to me a few weeks ago, you know, about like watching games together. And he like sent me a picture of a Celtics hat and a Padres hat. And so after the game was over, I texted him and I was like, well, I guess at least, you know, you saved room in your suitcase. Now you only have to pack one of those hats. So shout out to the Celtics getting defeated in the first round. And I'm sure you guys will all be ready to talk all the talk when we have our OKC series. But oh my gosh, please. I really hope we do well. And then, you know, basketball adjacent news that we didn't talk about last week was the shocking news that Klay Thompson and Meg the Stallion broke up. So he is a former Warrior. He plays for the Dallas Mavericks. my man, my man, my man. She made a song for that man and everything. Supposedly he cheated on her, which, like, I mean, not that we needed another reminder that it's not about looks when it comes to cheating, but it's just like, if you want to have sex and the person's not there, then you're going to do it with whoever. Because, I mean, if we're speaking objectively, Meg the Stallion is gorgeous. Like, body, yaddy, 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 face card, like everything. And like, she seems to cater to her man. So she seems like she's very attentive. So it's not even about any of those things. It's just like, when a man wants something, a man wants something. The memes have just been so good because they're just like dogging him, because it's like, my guy, like, you fumbled Meg the Stallion. And then it just goes into like this whole, like, we are adults, like, this isn't like a young 20-year-old trying to figure out what they want out of life. Like, he's older and he knows what he wants. And so it's just like, if you're getting involved with someone, and this is like, I really feel this way just across the board in general. It's like, if you are getting involved with someone, listen to what that person's needs and wants are. And if they do not align with yours, specifically, mainly with like the being in a relationship or like not cheating part, then like, don't do it, because it is just so disrespectful of the other person, because you're letting this person believe that they are like in this love story and they've finally, met their Prince Charming, only to cheat on them. Like, I just will never get it. And like, I do understand, like, the sports world, you have these girls like throwing themselves at you all of the time. I get it. But it's like, if you're in love, like, why would you like risk it all for that? Like, for a one night? Like, I'll never understand that. I think that, like, I mean, he named his boat after her. Like, this wasn't just like some like little fling of like, oh, they were just in this like figuring it out stage, and like maybe she thought that they were a lot further along than they were. Like, no, like, this man like introduced her to his entire family, like threw her a birthday party. She threw him a birthday party, including his family members. Like, I just like, why do all of that to just go cheat, And like, honestly, like, arguably, I didn't know he had it in him. I mean, I guess he's a man, so like, never put anything past anyone. But like, he doesn't like come off to me as like some like Rico Suave with like lots of game, like, not at all. So like, you really scored with Meg. And it's like, she has money. So it's, she's not after your money. That she like can have whatever lifestyle she wants. She looks beautiful. She takes care of you. Like, that's when you have to like look within and like figure out what's going on, because why do all of that? Like, I just don't get it. And I can understand moving too quickly and then getting cold feet and then realizing like, oh my gosh, maybe this is like the one, and like, I'm not going to have another, single moment. But like, have a conversation with your partner, because what's done in the dark will always come to light. Okay? Take that. Ugh, these men just have to get it together. Like, what are you doing? If you want to be in love, be in love. Let that woman love you and don't do her wrong. Ugh. And then in other follow-up news, one we had SNL did a skit on the Alex Earl, Alex Cooper ongoing drama. It's still going, and there's like a lot of other things coming out about Alex Cooper, and just like how her husband has like made it a very uncomfortable work environment for people. And if you guys don't remember, her husband, her now husband, was the reason that the original Call Her Daddy crumbled, essentially. So her and Sophia with an F, her old best friend, had a podcast, and they had got this podcast deal, and Sophia with an F didn't want to take it and thought that they could make more money. Her, Alex Cooper's now current husband, kind of like pushed for it, and then pushed Sophia out. And now we're hearing like oh, this empire that you guys built is about to crumble because you guys are not good people. And so apparently there's like lawsuits, and then there's people talking out about it. So if I were you, Alex Cooper, I would just, you know what, make up with Alex Earl. Sorry about that. And just try to like go under the radar for a little bit because things don't seem to be going in your favor currently. Um, and then, oh my gosh, and speaking of SNL, Kyle and Carl from Summer House were on they weren't on SNL, but they were like guests. So they like went to SNL and they were at the after party and everything. And here's the thing, you know, going into the season of Summer House before all of this scamanda happened, we were not rooting for Kyle. We were not rooting for Kyle one bit. He's like not a good husband. He really hasn't really been a great friend to people either. And, you know, not that I have forgotten all of that, because I certainly have not. And I do think it's still crazy that at 43 and you were a married man, you wanted to become a, you know, worldwide DJ like phenomenon. But I digress. But I will say through all of this, I am happy that he is getting some type of joy, because I'm sure it was hard enough already going through a divorce, but then finding out that like your friend has been sleeping with your soon to be ex-wife really sucks. So yeah, I was excited for, you know, like they're getting their opportunities, and like you run with that 60 seconds of fame, you know? And then also like kind of like a Summer House adjacent news, they released the trailer for The City, which is the spinoff that we're getting from Summer House, with, you know, some of the cast members, some old Summer House cast members, but supposedly we are seeing the divorce and cheating scandal play out on the show, and the trailer looks great. And I always love things like this because they're my age, so these people are all like in like their later 30s, early 40s, which is like just like fun drama to watch, because it's like it shifts. I mean, it's like all still like stupid, dumb, petty drama, but I feel like it's like more relatable. So we're going to get that. And then speaking of things that dropped, Northwest dropped some music. She has an EP this week. And I think she's 13, 14, maybe 15, in that realm. She seems to have a real affinity towards like this like goth culture, which like go off. I think that's just like, it's like a thing for these young kids. They like love like the emo goth like scene. Of course, you know, listen, to be Northwest, you have to have a different type of skin, because you're a little kid and like adults are going after you, such as myself, as I'm talking about it. You know, her music was okay. I mean, you know, her dad is a music genius. Her mom is obviously a pop culture icon. She is going to be fine with whatever happens in life. I mean, through the years, we've seen like she is really, really artistic. There's like, you know, Kim always is like showing like paintings that she's drawn, and it's really good. And of course we've like heard like little snippets of songs that she's done in the past. But you know what, go off, North. I love that you have this much confidence in a world full of haters. So let's see what you got. But I do think it's fun. And like, hello, like your dad's Kanye. Like, it doesn't even matter if your music sucks. Like, everyone's still going to say that it's great. So I guess like that's like a good place to be. It is Met Gala Monday today. So happy Met Gala to all those who celebrate to criticize everyone's choices. This year's theme is costume art. So I am really anxious to see what people do. I think it's going to be very fun. You know, the past couple years, I feel like people haven't really been like, they've kind of been like missing the mark. So hopefully, you know, we get to see some good looks this year. Of course, like obviously everyone like waits to see what the Kardashians are wearing, but maybe Rihanna will be there this year. She wasn't there last year. A lot of people are boycotting it because Jeff Bezos is sponsoring it. Not sponsoring it, but he's sitting on the board this year. So he's like one of the sponsors. And also, of course, like people are getting political about it. And I think, so I saw like this morning, like there was like, all these like Times Square, like protests and like billboards and stuff like that. But it is something to always watch and, give your opinion on. And then lastly, a couple weeks ago, I talked about the Haley Beck story, who is the teacher from Arizona that got caught having an affair with a 17-year-old student who, like, the student was just like making fun of her the whole time. It was like honestly embarrassing. So apparently there it was more than one kid now that has been involved. She still like hasn't been charged with anything, but my story is about her mom actually. So again, her brother, I guess, is like TikTok famous, Noah Beck. I don't know who he is, but he's famous. So this video resurfaced that they had made in 2020. So of course, like everyone was living on TikTok during COVID and doing all of the dances, all of the songs, all the things. But him and his mom did these videos with songs that like a mother and a son shouldn't really be doing anything to. And in one of the videos, it's like alluding to like giving head. And she's like making these like motions. I saw the video and I was a little taken aback. So it just seems like weird runs in their family, which then explains why her daughter did what she did. So, the Beck family, get it together a little bit. Like I said, guys, we had a lot of gossipy things going on to talk about this week. But I did want to be real with you guys and let you know that, I do try to be bubbly and optimistic and always happy and trying to find the positive in things. But this week was just one of those weeks that was hard. Not for one particular reason, for a lot of things mixed together. And then, it results in, for me, like no motivation. I wasn't working out. I just like didn't really want to do anything. I was just kind of like stuck in my thoughts, which is hard because I do try to always pick myself up and try to be the light for everyone else. And so sometimes it does get hard for me. And then it's like I have a job that I have to show up, and I'm other people's person. So I have to show up for them. And so, when you are going through something, it is hard to then have to show up for others. And so it just was like a challenging week. I've just been like very like mentally distracted. And then, of course, the reality of being in a long distance situation with someone, I at times like I really, really, really like it. And it forces me to, slow down and to really like get to know someone really well. But other times it's hard because we've been building and building and building for months now, and there's like a very serious connection. And so, of course, you want to be with that person all of the time. And that's not, the reality of the situation is that I can't. And, so I always get like the post-trip blues for sure. We get very little time with each other. When we do, we absolutely make the most of it, and it's incredible. But it's hard. And so that was like one more component to everything. And I just like tried to talk myself out of everything every single day. And like, getting towards the end of the week, I'm like, okay, Kyra, like let's, snap out of it. So I think that I kind of just wanted to share what I do, just like little resets here and there. I really just like try to get back to my baseline at the very least, and just remind myself that these are just like little periods of time and it's not forever. But, I definitely was struggling this week. And I know that people deal with this on a regular basis, which is, I can't even imagine to be able to have to show up every single day and pull yourself out of it, often, I think is really commendable for people. And I do remind myself in these times to be very grateful that these feelings are far, and few between for me. Um, but I appreciate having people in my life to remind me of little things to just be happy about. For example, I always cut one of my clients' granddaughter's hair, and she loves to come in. And this week she colored me a picture, and I just thought it was the sweetest thing because it just like snaps you out of your funk really quickly to remind you of like the little joys of life. Like this little girl colored me this picture with the intent to like make me so happy, which it did. And it's like hanging on my refrigerator right now, which reminds me, I actually have to send her a picture. And I cleaned my apartment. I think like so that's something that really helps me, when I am feeling off. I just like have to get my space in order, because when I feel like it's like everything is tidy and clean, it just like makes me feel better. So like I love a deep clean. So I actually like deep cleaned my apartment all weekend long. And then of course, like there's no better feeling in the world than freshly washed sheets. So I, went to bed on freshly washed, wonderful smelling, cozy sheets last night, because I was like, we are not going to have another week of feeling down. You better do all the things that you need to do to make you happy. And so I, worked out yesterday, and I have my workout schedule set up for the week. I am actually super, super excited because, like I had mentioned earlier in the episode, my friend and her husband are coming here this week. And it's my friend from back home. She's here for a work conference. I'm so glad that her husband is coming along with her, and I'm going to be able to get to see them multiple days. And another one of our friends that lives here, we're all going to go to dinner on Thursday. So I'm super excited about that. So, like that was giving me something to look forward to. And I also have not been to a Padres game all season, and I'm going on Friday. So it's like so crazy that I haven't been to a game yet. I mean, we're almost like 2 months into the season, and I'm like just going for the first time, which is so crazy. So I am very much looking forward to that. Yesterday I took a walk outside. Like the sun wanted to shine for a little bit. It came out later in the day, and I was like, I just like know that I have to get outside. I feel like we all go through like the doom scrolling situation, and I just like really like it's easy to get lost in that, like it's very easy to just sit in your thoughts, sit in your feels, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, keep scrolling, and then get even more into your feels thinking like, well shoot, I want this, or I want to do this, or I want to go here, or oh my god, like how happy this person is, like I'm not happy like that right now, like I just want to be happy. And so like I do have to put my phone down. And then, like talking with my friend, like he always makes me excited and happy. He's honestly, guys, like one of the funniest people I've ever met. And so I just like needed a little like cheering up, and he's very good at doing that. And I also have like started, like I want to watch like more thought-provoking shows, um just like ones that you like have to pay attention to. And I am infamous for scrolling on my phone or like doing something while watching a show. So I also like this weekend like had to like go put my phone away to be able to like, disassociate from that. Like I cannot be on my phone. Like that is like one thing that I really, really, really do need to work on is like not being on my phone as much, because I do just like get sucked into that, ongoing spiral. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to kind of share that I don't really have much to give this week because it was rough, but I know that that makes me human, and I know that other people go through this as well. And again, it's like there's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot of heaviness happening, and I yet again am someone who sits and talks to people all day long, so I hear their things as well. And so when on the rare occasion that I am feeling down, my clients can be both helpful and maybe not so helpful. I mean, obviously not on purpose. Like I'm always the person like that they can share anything with, and I'm so happy to do so. But when you're going through something, you don't necessarily want to hear other people's things because, I feel for them. It's not because it goes two ways. I do feel like, okay, I feel like I'm going through something bad, and then I hear something from them and I'm like, okay, I guess like it's like not that bad. But then I also am someone who like feels for people, and like, I wouldn't say that I'm an empath like to like a large scale, but I definitely am an empath and like take people's feelings into consideration. So that can be difficult sometimes too. It's like when I'm going through my stuff and then hearing about their stuff, and then I want to help them, but I also need to help myself. And so, it was just one of those whirlwind of weeks this week, but I am coming out on the other side, and I would love to know what are some of like the things that you guys like to do in times like this. Obviously weather plays a big role, so it was nice to like see a little bit of the sun to kind of bring some joy. But yeah, I would love to know what you guys do. I'm so sorry that this is like such a short episode this week. I just like needed a good little reset, so I do apologize. I will be back in a much better place next week. I refuse to have 2 weeks in a row like this. So I will be back to my routines, back to my regular self. Thank you guys for listening today. And I promise to be back to my chipper self next week with lots to talk about. We have Mother's Day coming up this weekend, so shout out to all the moms out there. You guys are seriously the hardest working people I have ever met in my life. So I hope all of you are being so spoiled this weekend, because you very, very, very much deserve it. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. All of the info can be found in the description below. Make sure you're subscribed. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm Kyra, and this is your reminder that having it mostly together still counts. See you next week. Bye.